Chapter 1. The quiet desire. It was a quiet evening, and Leo sat alone in his study, sipping lukewarm tea. He had read Marcus Aurelius that morning. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. These words circled in his mind all day. Leo was a man of reason, discipline, and restraint. But tonight, something inside stirred, a longing for intimacy with the woman he had been seeing for months. They shared conversations, subtle laughter, silent glances, and growing emotional closeness. But Leo, true to his Stoic practice, never forced, never assumed. He respected boundaries, understood patience, and resisted the urge to chase fleeting desires. And yet, the question pressed against his mind: how does a man, deeply grounded in Stoicism, ask a woman for intimacy without pressure, without manipulation, but with presence, respect, and emotional intelligence? He wasn't looking for a trick, he was looking for alignment, mind, body, and spirit. But psychology, he knew, could reveal something Stoicism alone could not. Chapter 2. The Dance of Energy. Modern psychology teaches that intimacy is not just physical. It's a negotiation of safety, vulnerability, and emotional readiness. Women often tune into emotional energy far more acutely than men do. It's not about what you say. It's about how safe she feels in your presence. Leo remembered a passage by Carl Jung. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. He realized intimacy wasn't about asking. It was about creating the space where the answer was already yes. So he began to observe. How did she respond to his touch, his voice? Did she lean in or lean away? Did her eyes linger or break too quickly? He stopped trying and started sensing. The Stoic in him practiced detachment not from desire, but from the outcome. If it happened, it happened. If not, he still had his peace. Chapter 3. Trust over tension. Isla was intuitive, warm, and beautifully complex, but she had her walls like any woman who has been misunderstood, rushed, or used. One night, as they watched the stars from his balcony, she spoke softly. Most men think intimacy starts in the bedroom, she said, but for women, it starts hours, days before. In how you look at us, listen to us, make us feel seen. Leo smiled faintly. This was no longer a mystery to him, it was a principle. The Stoics taught that control was illusion. Influence was earned, not forced. He leaned back, looked at the night sky, and said, I'm not in a hurry. I want you to feel free, not obligated, just safe. There was no agenda in his words, no hidden motive, just calm presence, and something shifted. Chapter 4. The unspoken invitation. The trick, Leo realized, was paradoxical. Stop asking and start embodying. He no longer wondered how to ask instead. He became the kind of man a woman feels safe enough to approach herself. That's the psychological nuance. Women often decide far earlier than they admit. Your energy either invites or repels intimacy. Leo practiced emotional mirroring, not manipulation, but a When Ela leaned in emotionally, so did he. When she pulled back, he honored the space. He noticed the way her breath changed when he complimented her mind, how her body relaxed when he laughed at her jokes, how her hand lingered a second longer on his forearm during quiet moments. These were the cues. These were the real conversations. Words were optional. Chapter 5. Emotional leadership. Man grounded in Stoicism leads not by dominance, but by emotional clarity. Leo never begged. He never guilted. He never used pressure disguised as romance. Instead, he communicated through leadership. I want you, but only when you want me to, not before. Simple, clear, calm, like a man who has mastered himself, not a man trying to win approval. Isla felt it. She had been with men who chased, who flattered, who manipulated. But Leo was different. He didn't seek intimacy as validation, he offered it as a gift, one that could be declined without punishment. That safety, that emotional leadership, that was the trigger. Because when a woman feels she can say no without fear, that's when she starts thinking yes. Chapter 6. The Inner Gate. Days later, Isla invited him over to her apartment. The tone was different, her voice softer, her texts more frequent. She didn't say it outright, but her energy told the story. She was opening the gate, not just to her body, but her heart. That night, Leo didn't ask for intimacy. He simply showed, opportuned, grounded, present. They cooked dinner, shared stories, laughed over old memories. When she stood beside him, her hand grazed his, and she didn't pull away. The moment wasn't sexual, it was sacred. And when she leaned in and kissed him, it was not permission, it was invitation. He had not used any lines, any tricks, just deep awareness, restraint, and emotional safety. Chapter 7. The Stoic lover. Stoicism is often misinterpreted as coldness, but it's the opposite. It's emotional mastery in service of deeper connection. Leo never forgot what Epictetus taught. No man is free who is not master of himself. He brought that freedom into his intimacy. He stayed in the moment, not driven by lust, but guided by intention. That night, they shared more than bodies. They shared trust, timing, and truth. Afterwards, as she rested on his chest, Isla whispered, "You never pressured me. That's what made me want you more." And in that moment, Leo understood. The true psychological trick was never manipulation. It was stillness, respect, subtle leadership. It was becoming the man a woman chooses, not the one who begs to be chosen. Chapter 8. The Real Secret. So, how does a man ask a woman for intimacy? He doesn't. He listens instead of chasing. He feels instead of forcing. He leads with calm, not control. He learns her emotional language and mirrors it with sincerity. The true Stoic lover is not emotionally numb. He is emotionally present. Intimacy becomes a reflection of his self-control, not his desperation. Leo never forgot that night with Isla, not because of what they did, but because of how it happened. In peace, in consent, in harmony, no games, no guilt, just real, mature connection. Chapter 9. Final reflections. In the weeks that followed, their bond deepened. Not every moment was perfect, but the foundation was strong. Communication, respect, and emotional alignment. Leo would tell his younger self this, if he could. You don't get intimacy by asking. You create it by becoming. And in that becoming, through Stoic principles and psychological awareness, he unlocked not only her body, but her trust. Because every woman wants to feel chosen, not captured, desired, not demanded, seen, not solved. And when a man shows he can hold space for her mind and heart, her body naturally follows. So the next time you find yourself wondering how to ask a woman for intimacy, remember this: you don't ask, you don't push. You become the kind of man she feels emotionally safe with, the kind of man who leads with presence, not pressure. The kind of man who understands that intimacy is not taken, it's offered when trust is earned. This is the Stoic path, still, attuned, grounded, not chasing, not begging, just inviting through the calm strength of self-mastery. Because, in the end, it's not about tricks or lines. It's about energy. It's about integrity. It's about showing her that she is free. And because she's free, she chooses you. If you found value in this story, subscribe for more Stoic insights on human behavior, relationships, and the deeper psychology of masculine power. And remember, master yourself, and you'll never have to manipulate anyone again.